Hello, harness racing fans. It is now time for the Kansas Snow Cape Breton Horseman Report. And today, Kansas' special guest is longtime Cape Breton horseman from North Sydney, Mr. John Ratchford.
Longtime horseman John Ratchford from North Sydney. And John, first of all, it must make you really feel proud of racing now in North Sydney.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's very nice to be 2 minutes from home and come over here and watch the whole thing, and I think it's great, yes. And they're doing well here, and I bet everybody likes it. All kinds of new fans.
What has been the big difference, racing in Sydney as compared to here?
I think they may have been getting a little wore out with the troubles we were always having, and we got some new people coming that came here, and were never here before, and all of a sudden they liked it, so we wouldn't have gained them otherwise. And we probably still have, certainly lots from the other side, and Sydney still coming. It just, maybe it's the fair atmosphere. It's a little different. You're closer to the action. It's not expensive or anything. Maybe they like that end of it. I don't know. That seems like something like that.
The game itself, where do you see this game going?
We can't do anything else but go up. Can't go back any further, it seems. But it goes in cycles, and I think it could have a resurgence. We could come back and be somewhat better than it is. And it looks like it's kind of doing that here and there. Fredericton had a higher bet than last year, and so did somebody else and somebody else. So it may come back.
John, it's no secret that we were the only game in town prior to the lottos getting in, and the government seems to be on hand in Charlottetown. It seems to be on hand in New Brunswick. What do we have to do to try and engage them here in Nova Scotia?
Well, I'm not very politically minded, but I would say that the island, of course, this is why they do so well and survive, because the government's right behind them, and they had the beautiful facilities. If anybody in the government from Nova Scotia were to go to Charlottetown and see that place, and then now see Summerside, the new one, I think they'd be jealous, and they'd feel bad that we're not looking at the same thing. I don't know. I guess we'd have to convey that message to them, and whether it falls on deaf ears or not, but certainly we should be trying.
The game itself, there's a lot of spin-off effects that I think that they're missing.
Yeah, there is, of course. There's lots of things going on like that, and it's also good for families because kids, like there's a little guy here doing the picks. What is he, 10 years old? And he's been here. He's like a dog with a bone. He's here all the time, standing down there, but he's good at it, and it's a good family thing. So maybe we should be marketing the thing kind of from that end of things, and let the people get around, come around. Invite them to be around the barns, and instead of keeping them out and that sort of thing.
What about yourself? You, in years gone by, had more of a stable, like 3 or 4 or 5 horses. I see now you're down to more 1.
Well, that's all I like to have now, and it keeps me involved. I like being in the stake races. I'm going Friday night next to look for a colt, and I may or may not sell the one I have now, so then I'll probably have 2 for a while. But that's all I have room for anyway.
What do you look for when you go to a colt sale?
I try to look at all the horses first without knowing who they are, and try to decide if they're a good-looking individual, conformation-wise, and I don't want to know who they are. I try not to look at the door plate and so on. And then once I calculate all the ones that I thought were nice, mark that amount down, and then go back and do it again and again and again. It's a lot of work. By the end of the night, you're pretty tired.
So you will go to the sale in Charlottetown, and as of this point, you don't know if you're going to buy or not.
Oh, I would say I'm going to buy. With 120 there, I can't see you coming back and saying I couldn't find one. I'm going to find one.
Thank you for watching the Kansas Snow Cape Breton Horseman Report.